Güvenli alana geçiyoruz bizler şu anda. Vatandaşları da görüyorsunuz. Deprem oluyor gene.
It's places like this that really show you why the death toll keeps rising. This was an entire neighborhood and it's completely destroyed. It was hundreds of apartments, thousands of people.
No, I can't stop crying. Last 2 days I'm here and keep seeing the dead bodies and the people are shouting dead bodies.
They risk their lives for moments like this.
(2월 6일) 터키와 시리아 지역을 강타한 규모 7.8, 7.5 두 차례의 강진으로 현재 사망자가 2만 3천 명을 넘어섰다고 합니다. 너무나도 안타까운 상황인데요. 현지에서는 생존자 구조 골든타임인 72시간이 지났음에도 계속해서 구조 활동을 진행하고 있다고 합니다. 오늘 뉴스도 영어 표현과 함께 확인해 보시죠.
The number of people now known to have been killed in Monday's earthquakes in Turkey and Syria has now passed 21,000. Rescue teams are still trying to find survivors more than 90 hours after the quakes. The UN says more help is on its way and has urged governments not to hinder aid supplies. The UN says more help is on its way and has urged governments not to hinder aid supplies. The UN says more help is on its way and has urged governments not to hinder aid supplies.
An urgent call for quiet. These rescuers need complete silence. They've heard voices. Even though this building isn't safe, they don't hesitate. Because despite the winter cold, there are still survivors. And to get to them, they need to be inside. In another collapsed building not far away, a British-German team are helping local people to search. They risk their lives for moments like this. A mother and child pulled from the ruins. A mother and child pulled from the ruins. A mother and child pulled from the ruins. Freezing, exhausted, but alive.
The team have been working on a work site for the last few hours, and I'm very glad to say that they've just been able to pull someone out the rubble pile and pass them over to paramedics locally.
방금 보신 것처럼 생존자 구조가 진행되고는 있지만 이렇게 좋은 소식만 있는 것은 아닙니다. 사랑하는 이를 떠나보냈다는 참혹한 진실에 마주한 사람들의 절규 또한 들립니다.
A father lost.
현지 시간으로 2월 10일까지 확인된 사망자는 현재 2만 3천여 명을 뛰어넘었고 미국 지질조사국의 발표에 따르면 사망자가 10만 명이 넘을 가능성도 제기되고 있습니다. 현재까지 발표된 사망자의 숫자는 지난 2011년 동일몬 대지진의 사망자 1만 8,500명보다도 많으며 21세기 들어 피해가 7번째로 큰 지진으로 여겨지고 있습니다. 지진이 강타한 지역에는 슬픔만이 가득합니다.
It's places like this that really show you why the death toll keeps rising. This was an entire neighborhood and it's completely destroyed. It was hundreds of apartments, thousands of people, and the majority of them are still buried under these vast mounds of smoking rubble. And the majority of them are still buried under these vast mounds of smoking rubble. And the majority of them are still buried under these vast mounds of smoking rubble.
Good news is becoming increasingly rare in Marash. Each day the number of bodies goes up. It's impossible to know how many more might be found. Keenan travelled here from Doncaster as soon as he heard the news of the quake. His brother is in there somewhere.
I tried to do yesterday to dig it myself, but you can't. We see the concrete like this, all close each other. I got no power to leave this. Sir, I'm sorry, sir.
The wait is agony. As darkness falls once again, the rescue work continues, but the chance of finding more survivors is now small. 4 freezing nights have taken a heavy toll.
한편 터키와 달리 지진 피해를 입은 시리아 지역은 더욱 상황이 참혹합니다. 12년째 계속되는 내전으로 인해 구호 물자를 전달할 수 있는 경로도 충분하지 않고 지원하기도 어려운 상황입니다.
Well, that's the picture in Turkey, but the process of getting help and aid for those affected in Syria is a far more complicated one because of the effects of 12 years of civil war. Now, much of the earthquake zone in northern Syria is controlled by groups who are fighting the government. And there's only one border crossing that's currently open for UN aid convoys to use.
At the corner of Ataturk and Jamal Street, hope ends. From what was once an 8-storey building, the last 4 bodies have been retrieved. Everyone else has been accounted for. All that's left is rubble. On the other side of the road, though, it's a different story. A desperate hope still remains. The children are 4 and 6 years old. It's been 4 days, says Mrs. Ozan. Her nieces are trapped inside. My God, please return them to us, she says. They dig deep inside the building, but no survivors emerge. A few streets away, there's better news. A Syrian boy, 1-year-old Rami, is pulled out alive after 80 hours buried under the rubble. His 8-year-old sister Hilal was also saved, along with their older brother and their mother. Turks and Syrians have lived together in Antakya for years. Most of the 3 million Syrian refugees in Turkey are in the earthquake zone and working hand in hand in its aftermath. This earthquake is a catastrophe for 2 countries, for Turkey and for Syria. Syrian and Turkish lives and fates overlap here. This is the border region. Syria is only 15 kilometres from here. But when it comes to the national and international response to this disaster, well, Syria and Turkey have never been further apart. It's taken long enough for help to make it here to southern Turkey. But over the horizon in Syria, a desperate people still wait.
보시는 것처럼 계속되던 여진과 혹독한 추위로 골든타임이 지났음에도 전 세계에서 구호의 손길은 계속되고 구조대 덕분에 생존자들을 찾아내고 있습니다. 더 이상의 피해가 없기를 간절히 기도합니다.